Hello. So on this video, I'm going to be talking to you about some of the lessons learned. I'm gonna regarding writing your book. So some lessons that I have learned over writing and publishing 11 books. Book number 12 in the works. I also want to take some Q&A if I have any. So that's what this is about. First of all, I know you have not seen me in a long time. But I have been behind the scenes trying to get these book projects done. I have multiple book projects going on at once, which is a lot because I still have work like many of you. I have a child. I am a unmarried mother. So I still have a full and busy life. And I am doing, what God is calling me to do. I'm writing books, publishing books, selling books, all of those things like that. Oh, I wanted to make a couple of things because I went through my DMs and I get different types of messages from people over here at the Book Writers Project. Number one, I do not ghostwrite. Number two, I do not. I think ghostwrite is the biggest thing that people ask me about. Will you write my book for me? The answer is no. Now, what I am is a self-publishing advocate, which means I will help you to write and self-publish your book. If you stick around, I will literally walk you through the entire process, start to finish, from having an idea in your brain to having a published book in your hand. This was the second book that I published in 2018. The first book I published in 2018 is called How to Heal a Broken Heart. I wrote and self-published that book in, I'm trying to remember the month, April of 2018, and I have since went on and written and self-published 11 more. All of my books are available on Amazon, and then my digital books are available at the Love and Miracles of Book Boutique, which is my own. Now, I want to just talk to you. So right now, what I'm doing, literally, what I'm doing right now, right before I click the live stream, and I decided I wanted to share this in my journey because you can get real busy working behind the scenes, but when you know that, like, I'm called to write books and I'm called to help other women of God give birth to their books. And even some men. I think the next time I open the doors to the book writing challenge, I'm going to market to also include men, because a lot of men contact me over here and say they want help writing their book as well. They just need to know that it's going to be the majority of women that are there. But then I kind of like it being just women too, because most of the time women want to share their story and they want a safe space to discuss how they're sharing their story. And if there's like men in the group, they may not be as comfortable, but I'm just going to see. I'm going to play it by ear and see how it goes. So with that being said, right now, why you haven't seen me, I'm working on book number 12, which is all of my books are easy reads. Book number 12 is going to be an easy read, but it's going to be very intense. It's still going to focus on love, dating, and relationships, but I want to answer and unearth every question or concern that a woman of God who is waiting to be married may have, as far as how to maneuver through, meeting, building a friendship, dating, going into courtship, all of those things like that. And I'm going to address some things that you have never heard anyone address publicly. I mean, I'm going to talk about things that you might search for the answer and you're like, how come nobody talks about this? How come nobody talks about, what kind of father is he for the kids that he already has? And how do I pay attention to the type of father he is to the children he already has, so that I can consider if he would be the type of father that I will want for the children that I want in my future, or maybe for the children I have right now. Like, you'll be hard pressed. You'll find a lot of videos that tell you, you'll find, not videos, but just information. You'll find a lot of information out there that'll give you like surface level advice, random generic advice. But it's difficult to find somebody who has some scriptures behind. Like, I have a scripture behind the responsibility that a man has for children in his home, which is different than what society would tell you. But real men of God already understand this, right? This is something that maybe men get in a men's conference, but women are not privy to because we're not at the men's conference, right? Real men of God understand they're responsible for the kids, right? But men who are in the world and brought up and raised in the world, they might not view it that way. right? So if you're a woman of God and you are seriously dating to get married and you're just dating a true spirit-filled man of God, you may wonder about that. How can I really tell if he's going to be a good father? Well, there's some certain things that you can look at. There's some clues, there's some keys, stuff like that, not to mention the word of God and the Holy Ghost that's going to help you along the way. So I'm covering a lot of things in that book. Now, that's why it's taking me so long. I'm writing book number 12. I am revising How to Prepare for Your Future Husband. This is my top seller. How to Prepare for Your Future Husband sells when I'm not even marketing it, because this book is fire. It is good. It is powerful. Again, it addresses what to do when you are not married, but you desire to be married. What do you do during that time? Like, literally, what do you do? People say focus on God, but that doesn't mean anything. I literally give you steps to take, things to consider, new ideas, fresh wisdom. In addition to that, I talked to you about the type of man that God would send. Now, I know that there's books that claim they're going to help you with that, but they actually don't. This is like the first part of this book, part 1, Who is My Adam, is a deep Bible study into the very first husband and how you can examine the life of the very first husband, who God decided was a husband, by the way. You can study the life of the very first husband and then apply that to your dating life right now. Like, what lessons can you learn from the very first husband that will help you to know and recognize when a man steps forth, is he actually husband material or not, based on God's standards, not based on the world standards. Now, with that being said, I am revising this book because this was the third book. This was the third book that I wrote and published in 2018. It has not underwent any type of revision. My first 2 books, I have already done a revision. So, How to Heal a Broken Heart and the Single Woman's Prayer book, I have revised both of those books already. I haven't revised the content, but what I did was I redid the interior designs of those books. Now, this particular book, I love the interior design. I am not revising the interior design. However, this needed another round of editing. Now, this is the lesson learned that I want to give you, because I had an editor who edited, let me count real quick. She did this one, the prayer book, Giving Birth to Miracles, and I think she did the Prophetic Woman. She edited 4 of my books. But let me tell you why that's not good and why I am now regretting allowing her to edit all of my books. The first book I had a few editors that I went through. I was being cheap, just like a lot of you all. How can I write? This is the main question I get. How can I write and publish a book for free? You cannot, unless you want it to be trash. Now, if you want to just write some little junk book that is really not going to be professional and powerful, you can do it 100% for free 99. You can write it yourself. You can edit it yourself. You can go on Canva and create a bootleg cover. You can get it printed out, and the only thing you have to pay for is the cost to get it printed in your hand. You don't want to do that, because you're an author, you're a writer, you are probably a minister as well. You have a message on the inside of you that God wants you to release. That means that you're not an editor. An editor is a profession. Like, there's a skill set that they have that you and I do not have, because we are the messenger. We're not the editor. There's a difference. Not to mention, you're not a graphic designer. Let's say you are a graphic designer and you're an author too. You still don't want to be that close to what you're doing, because what I have learned is that the people who are graphic designers, usually when it comes to writing a book and delivering a message, you see there's language skills, there's communication skills that are different than a design skill set. It's totally different. I would never create my own cover. I know it would come out. I did. I wish I had it. I designed my first book. I designed the cover myself just to see if I could do it. And then when I went and got it professionally designed, it was 1,000 times better. And I was like, this was every bit worth. I think I only paid like $50 for my first book cover design. I might have paid less than that. I can't remember. But what you don't want to do is cheapen the entire process and then expect the end result to be amazing. Now, I am revising this book because she was pretty affordable, right? And when she edited the first book that I let her edit for me, she did a good job, which was book number 2, the Single Woman's Prayer book. She did a good job editing that book. This was the second book. Because she did such a good job with the first book, I did not really pay as close of attention to her the editing job that she did with this book. Now, thank heavens, the third book and the fourth book that I let her edit turned out great. But I don't know what was going on with her when she was editing this book. She must have either been stressed, rushing, not taking it serious. There are 1,000 typos. Now mind you, we're in 2021. This book was released in 2018. Whenever I'm reading from this book, or I'm teaching from this book, or I'm just like perusing through this book, I am finding typos, misspellings, extra words. I'm like, oh my gosh, why wasn't this caught by the editor? Now, mind you, because you pay an editor to catch grammatical errors in addition to proofreading, that's their job. My job is to deliver the message. Their job is to make sure that it is edited properly, right? To make sure that it is punctuated properly and all those things, no misspellings. And I'm like, I paid her to edit this book, and she did a horrible job because and then y'all, here's really what made me go back and revise it. So I'm working on some other things behind the scenes concerning my books, and I went to accumulate a bunch of book reviews. I went to accumulate a bunch of reviews from the internet, and I wanted to see, I already know people are saying good things, but I also, another thing about these book reviews, this is why you want to make sure that you get them. This is why you want to make sure you publish in a location where you can collect reviews. Those reviews are going to help make you a better author. I don't get offended when I see a negative review. It challenges me to do better. Now, I want 5-star reviews, obviously. I want 5-star reviews. I want everybody to love it. However, when the review is honest and is honest feedback that people might not give me personally, because they don't. Nobody ever emailed me about any of my books and said, hey, this is how your book, blah, blah, blah. People respond to what they're receiving from these books on reviews. I read a review. It was not on Amazon. It was on another website where people are reviewing my book that I didn't even know. I didn't even know that people were reviewing my books in this other location. But I discovered it, and I almost had 5-star reviews, but one of the girls said, it was a lady, she said, I would have gave this book 5 stars except for all the typos. And I was like, oh, you know what? I cannot ignore the fact that this book was poorly edited any longer, because I want to start doing bigger things with my books. That is my goal in this season, to really start doing a lot more concerning getting my books out to the millions of women that God have already told me will be reading and having these encounters with him as they go through my books. Now, with that being said, I need to make my books more professional. I need to enhance them. Even though I'm still writing and publishing another book, I need to make sure that all the books that I've already written are as professional, as beautiful, and as powerful as I need them. They need to represent Sarita A. Foxworth and the Holy Spirit with the spirit of excellence. They need to be the best thing that I can offer. I need to give women my best, right? This is what you want to think when you're writing a book. It's not about you. It's about the people that are reading it. I need the women that are reading this not to get so caught up in a typo, but to really be hearing from God and really have their heart encouraged and really be able to say, oh, now I get it. Now I understand. These words are blessing me so much, right? I don't need them to get lost in commas. I have found, right, because I'm getting this book re-edited. I am bad about run-on sentences. It's because I got a lot to say. But apparently, I don't know how to break my sentences. I need to do better. This is another thing. When your book is getting edited, you learn about the kind of writer that you are. If you have a good editor, this is why you can't cheapen the process. So, I read a review. She said I would have given it 5 stars if it wasn't for all the typos. I said, all right. I can't ignore these typos and the poor editing job any longer. I'm going to hunker down, get this thing re-edited. I'm actually going to get the cover redone as well, because I'm not really crazy about the cover. And I'm going to put the revised edition of this out probably, let me see, September. It'll be out before the end of October. But I said I need to take care of that. Another thing, by the way, when you're thinking about your book revision, you see my About the Author page. This whole thing needs to be revised and updated, which is what I'm working on right now. Because my About the Author page says a lot about me being a speaker. And if you want to hire me as a speaker, these are my speaking topics. But my business is not focused on me taking speaking engagements. So I don't need to talk about hiring me as a speaker. What I need to do is lay out all of the other books that I have and that you can go and get them. Because if you order this book on Amazon, let's say you do not know who I am on social media. You have not ran across me. You haven't watched my videos. But you just seen this book on Instagram or barnesandnoble.com or any other website where the books are listed and located, and you don't actually know me or have seen me, you need to be able to go to my About the Author page and be aware that there are 11 other books that will bless your socks off if you go and take advantage. You might not be trying to book me as a speaker, right? So I had to revise my About the Author page, and keep that in mind too. Your About the Author page, you really need to think about, what do you want the woman that, or the man, or the person that's reading it, what do you want them to do after they finish reading this one? After they finish reading this one, I want them to go and get all the other ones. Or I want them to go to my website and connect with me and stay connected with this community. So one or two options. I don't necessarily want them, because usually people are not going to read the book and then book you to come speak at their event. I've learned that. Now, with that being said, so I'm revising this book, and that is a lesson that I've learned about hiring a really good book editor. You don't want to cheapen it. This lady that I have that's re-editing my book right now, she had 937 comments. 937. I was like, now I know there was some typos, but 937. All right. So I'm going through all of her findings. I'm going through all of her notes. I'm revising some phrases, some words. Now, mind you, some of that 937 was proofreading, commas, periods. Again, these run-on sentences I got all over the place, breaking those in. So it wasn't really bad. It's not like the writing was bad. It's not like I needed to rewrite the whole book. It is just the proofreading. Majority of it is book reading. But I'm paying her more is my whole point. I'm not paying her double, but I did increase my budget. One of the things that I have learned when it comes to making sure that you have a professional and quality book, if let's say the cover, I'll use the cover I'm having this cover redone. Now, I can't remember how much I paid for this cover, but let's say I paid, I think I only paid like $30 for this cover. But I'm not crazy about it, right? There's nothing about this that is like very exciting. It's to the point. It's not as beautiful. I would like it to be more beautiful. This is not as beautiful. Additionally, the branding is off. Now, mind you, I did tell her. I told her I wanted it to have these cursive. I wanted it to be red. I picked out the crown. I picked out the cross. I did. But as the longer that I'm in business, the more that I am working with women, the more that I'm getting more clear about what I'm offering, the more that I'm getting clear about who I'm talking to, the more that I'm getting clear about what I want my brand to portray. I'm also going through a season of rebranding in my business altogether. The more that I get more clear about the type of business that I want, what I want it to look like, feel like, smell like. So the more that I get more clear as a businesswoman, in addition to me getting more clear about my ministry and what I'm saying, what my message is, the more I'm getting clear about what I want my image to actually be. Which means this red got to go. Red is not a part of my branding at all. My branding is pink, black, and white. Now, all my books don't need to be pink, black, and white, right? That doesn't make, like my devotional. Where's my devotional at? Not just seeing that devotional. I literally just had a devotional in my hand. I just had it in my hand. Oh, here it is. This is the proof. My devotional color is not changing, you see? This is teal green. This is gold. I like my devotional cover. It has the light background designs like I like. I'm not changing this. I'm happy with this. But this one just needs to be upgraded. It needs to be more modern. It needs to be more exciting. It needs to be more beautiful. So, let's say I paid this person $30, which I'm pretty sure I did. Whenever I go back out, because I want this to be brought up to the next level, I go ahead and multiply my budget. Usually I multiply my budget times 3, depending on what that budget was. Because I'm expecting to get somebody who has more experience, who has more of a better skill set even, and who's going to do a better job because I'm going to pay them more. You see? It's just like any other job field. The more you pay people, the better quality you get. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like the book writer challenge. I'm about to open. I'm not gonna open it like soon, but the next time that I open the door to the book writing challenge, the price is gonna go up. You know why? Because my experience has went up since I first started offering it in 2019. Not only has my experience went up, I'm giving a lot more to the women that are gonna be a part of it. I have learned, because I've been helping women to write books for a couple of years now. Now I have learned what I can do to help them, even in a more effective manner. These women that come to the book writing challenge this time around, they're going to have access to me like the women in the past did not. So, of course, you got to, you know what I mean? If I'm going to be working more, then you have to invest more. But these women are going to be able to, like, call me. In the last rounds of the book writing challenge, they were not able to do that. So, because you get more, you're getting more quality. Because, by the way, I've written more books. The first time I had the book writing challenge, I had only written and published 4 books. This time when I have it, I'll be on book number 12. Also, the last time I had the book writing challenge, I had only written and published paperback and hardcover books. This time around, I will have written and published digital guides. That's a whole different ball game. It's not just an ebook that you download that's in the PDF. Okay, that is not what I'm talking about. A digital guide has links. It is fully designed as well. It has things that you can include in the guide, like audios, videos, things like that. Now, with that being said, because I have grown and my skill set has grown as an author, of course, you will pay me more if you want me to help you. Now, it is the same thing when you're hiring people to help you with your book. I'm going to pay the cover designer more because I want somebody with a better skill set to give me a much more beautiful and professional book cover, because this one is a little bit, it's not the best. You know, it could be better, but I do love the interior. So I love the way my interior was designed and style. I'm not changing that. Now, I'm very happy that when I contacted her, she told me that her price included revisions over the years. So if at any point I needed to go back and revise the interior, the price that I paid her in 2018, I don't have to pay her again. The revisions are included. So therefore, I'm getting this book re-edited, right? The interior is getting re-edited, meaning my paragraphs and my words are getting edited again. So those are going to change. The woman who did the interior design and layout of my book, she is not going to charge me again because the only thing that's changing is the words. She's just going to plug and play. She said she has a software that lets her know where the changes are. So she's just going to plug and play with the words, but the design is going to remain exactly the same. See? Now, she charges a pretty penny. When I found her, she was just getting started, and her price was $1,000. It was way lower. But then when I went back to her, she did this for me in 2018. I went back to her, and I believe it was 2019, and she had quadrupled her pricing. And I was like, you raised your price too much. Like, why is it so high now all of a sudden? And I realized it's because she was just getting started. That was a favor of God. And she worked on the book design for me, and now she has grown in her skill set. She understands how valuable she is, and she is demanding a higher price, which, quite honestly, she's worth it. So, those are my lessons learned, okay? My lessons learned is don't cheapen this process, all right? Invest in it up front. When you hire a book editor, make sure that you go through the edit job that they do for you. Don't just trust everything that they do without really looking at it. Because I really trusted the girl who did the first editing job because she had edited my first book. And I really didn't look at it in detail. And then when I'm going back through here, I'm seeing so many typos that now, instead of me being able to create an expanded edition, which is what I would have preferred to do. In other words, I would have preferred to add to this book and then release a revision that has more material in it versus having to get it re-edited. And now I got to pay a brand new editor and release the content is the same. The editing is just better. You know, the flow is going to be better, but the content is the same, but it's not an expanded edition. You know what I mean? If I was going to put this much time and energy into a revision, I would rather add to what is already in here. But because I trusted her, I think her pricing was okay. But I'm paying this editor a lot more, and I am getting what I am paying for. Now, I don't think you should have to pay an editor no $1,000. I think that's crazy. Unless they're gonna edit multiple books for you, 1,000 is just too much. However, you don't want to just not have it edited. Ask your mama to edit it. You think you're gonna edit it? That ain't gonna work either. You want to actually pay a professional to help you. Now, that is all I wanted to share with my lessons learned. Was that helpful? And do you guys have any questions for me? By the way, so if you have questions, type it into the question bubble, because I had the Q&A open. Look at the bubble at the bottom. Type your question in there so I can pull it up. And then I'm about to go because I need to get cracking. I need to finish this. Let me show you what I'm working on while I'm waiting on y'all to let me know if you have any questions. Let me show you these notes. So here's the original manuscript. Look at her notes, though. Her notes are all over here. Now, I've accepted a lot of these changes. 937, y'all. 937. Everything in red is her. Everything in gold is mine. I mean, she marked this bad boy up. But it is good, though. It's very, very good. You see, I didn't have to do a complete rewrite. You see what I'm saying? There was just a couple of things that I needed to address. But this is good. And I'm going to use her with my next, with the next books that I write, too. If she's available, I'm definitely going to use her again. Because I know that she's thorough. And what I need is a thorough person. I don't need somebody who's just going to enjoy my words. See, the last girl that I hired, I believe she looked like one of my clients, which is why I hired her. Because I hired her because I said she looks like one of my clients. In other words, she looks like a woman of God who desires to be married, who's in the age range of the people that I'm called to. So in my mind, I said she would be a good editor because she's going to understand how I'm coming across and what I'm saying and how I'm trying to help people. But that actually was not a good idea. This woman right here, I don't know her background, but she's not my target audience. So when she's looking at it, she's actually looking at it as not because she's receiving, while she's reading. She's not being ministered to while she's reading, but she's reading it just as a professional. Is this book professionally written? Do these sentences flow together? Are you crystal clear? Because maybe I'm using terms and phrases that are not crystal clear based on everybody doesn't have the same spiritual background. Now, I didn't want to make my book generic. Like, I don't want to water it down. But at the same time, I need to make sure that I'm communicating so that no matter what your spiritual background is, you can still be blessed. You know what I mean? And yes, I'm going to do a 4-week program. Tracy, that's what I mentioned a little while ago. I'm debating whether it's going to be 4 weeks or 6 weeks. But I am going to do another book writing challenge. And this time it is going to be more robust. It is going to be intense. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it in January or February yet. Really, it just depends on if I sign William up for a winter sports team. Because he has a lot going on. You a mom, you got a little boy. I love it, but it's keeping me super busy. He has stuff like every other day he got somewhere to be. So if I sign him up for a winter, I'm trying to find him a basketball league for the winter. I don't know. I might not do it until after that's over, which will probably be in February. But at the same time, I kind of want to do a book writing challenge in January because people are usually more focused the first month of the year. So it's either going to be in January or February. And I'm going to have the book writing challenge. And then I'm going to walk you through writing your entire manuscript and getting it fully self-published. Getting it fully in your hand and available for other people to buy. I'm going to walk you through that process. Excuse me. So, and it'll probably be, it's either going to be 4 or 6 weeks. I haven't decided yet. But I'll be announcing that very soon. Okay, let me see. Oh, I thought I seen a question in here and I was gone. Okay. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. I'm about to go. So stick around. If you're not connected, when I do open up the doors to the book writing challenge, I'm probably going to email it before I do anything else. So you want to connect with me at bookwritersproject.com. bookwritersproject.com. There's the way that you could join my email list. And then you'll be the first one to know when I do open the door to the book writing challenge. Because when I do open it, it's going to be at a super early bird price. And that's not going to last for very long. Yep. I'm excited about it. I'm trying to get these. As soon as I get this book revised and out there, get book number 12 fully written and out there, then I want to roll into the book writers challenge like that. But it's just taking so long. But I am like really, really dedicated to getting it done in this season, because I really want these. You know, I'm challenging myself just as an author and as a businesswoman. I really just want everything to be better. I want it to be, you know, every book should be better than your last one, at least for me. And my first couple of books, I wrote them quickly. And I think I'm gonna get back to that though, because I don't think it's good to take too long to write the book. You know what I mean? I think that if God tells you to write and put the message out there, you need to get it on out there. You don't need to drag your feet and delay and procrastinate and take 50 years to get something done that God wants you to do, because there literally is somebody waiting for it. And I did notice that there's a momentum. When I was writing and publishing quickly, there was an amazing momentum and people coming in and just being blessed, which has been lost because I've been moving from state to state, had a lot of different things going on business-wise behind the scenes, and now I got to get that momentum back up. But okay, you guys, I hope that this was a little bit helpful for you. Just know that you want to invest in a good editor up front. But I know you probably wondering, how do I find an editor? I'm going to help the people in the book writing project. I'm going to literally show you where to go to locate a book editor, a book cover designer, an interior designer, and every other person that's involved with this process. One of the things that I'm going to get the ladies this time is the actual checklist. I haven't done that before because there's so many steps to start publishing your book. But I'm literally going to write down, it's going to be like 30 steps. I'm literally going to write down each step in order, which is really going to help you to flow. Maybe I'll create like a visual flow chart or something, because I really want you to be able to go through this process without being overwhelmed about the actual process, right? The technical aspects of self-publishing. The blessed part about self-publishing is getting the message out there, but the technical stuff can get people very confused, and it can slow you down. So that's why you want to work with somebody who's been through this process 1,000 times. I can do it with my eyes closed, and everything, and I can tell you exactly where to go and what to look for, and you know what I mean. How to get it done. I gotta go. Y'all seen all this red on all these pages. I thought I was done. I went through all her comments last night, and then I was getting so sleepy that I was like, I can't keep going. So then I said, okay, in the morning, I'm going to just jump on a computer. I'm going to knock it out. I'll be done in like 30 minutes. Nope. Because then I had to go back to some of her older comments and reread them because I was so sleepy last night. Then I had to go in and accept all her proofreading changes. And then when I went back to look at that, I noticed she had reworded some stuff. And I want you to edit it. I want it to have good readability, which is another thing that your editor is supposed to look for. But some of the words I actually don't want you to change, because I know the women that I'm talking to. You see, you don't know the women that I'm talking to because you're an editor. I'm the minister here. I am the one who's been working with women for years upon years upon years in this specific area. So there are some words that I don't want to be removed because you will remove what I'm saying to the woman that's reading it. And then there's other things where I could just make it sound better. So I didn't know, though, that she had went in here and she had removed some of the words. Like, it needed to be something short. It ain't like she removed the whole paragraph. She would remove like half a sentence, you know, or a phrase. And I'm like, no, but that needs to be in there. You know, to you, you think that this is redundant. She keeps saying I'm being redundant. To you, you think it's redundant, but there actually is a difference. It is not redundant, because I know that to the women that I'm talking to, they will understand what I'm saying here. But you might not, you know what I mean? You might not. Anyway, so I got to get back to this. All right, you guys. Bye-bye. Don't forget, go to bookwritersproject.com. bookwritersproject.com. Get on my email list so you can be one of the first people to know when I open the doors to the book writing challenge. We are going to be diving in probably at the top of the year. It's September. I got to give people 3 months to sign up. October, November. Yeah. I might open the doors in October. I'm going to see. I might open the doors in October. I'm going to see. But, yeah, go ahead and start saving up for that now. I don't work for free. You know, I got 1,000 DMs. I got to go through all my DMs. I have so many DMs. Can you give me some advice on how to get started writing my book? Yeah, this whole page is full of free advice, honey. Go watch some of these videos. Get some free advice. But when you have specific questions and concerns and you want me to help you to actually get it done, that's what the book writing project is for. It's so many DMs. Can you help me to get started? Yes, yes, I can help you. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help with the whole process of writing and publishing your book for sure. But you definitely have to invest. You definitely have to invest. And if you can't wait, so if you are like, I'm ready to get started right now, I don't want to wait until January, you can go and get the book writers jumpstart guide. And I will help you to get started with the first steps. And that's only $30. I'll help you get started with the first steps of writing your book. It's only for Christians, though. I got to put that out there, too. Because I help you to hear from God regarding what you're about to write. And that is critical for you to know. So if you're not like a Christian person, you don't pray, all this information that I give you about praying and hearing from God, you're going to be like, I don't want to hear that. But that's going to be a real key into what it is that we're doing. I'm here to help people of God get the message that God has placed on the inside of their heart out for the masses, because the harvest is white as snow. We're living in the last days, and we really need to go and collect. So when we need to get as many people brought into the kingdom of God as possible. And then the people that are in the body of Christ, they need to get their lives cleaned up. They need to get their lives cleaned up. Start taking this thing a little bit more serious. They need to figure out how to come out of carnality. Whatever your message is, right? Everybody has a different message. Whatever your message is, you need to get that message out of your heart and into the book and into the hands of people. And the thing about writing a book, y'all, is that a book is forever. People will be able to buy your book long after you're dead and gone, and their lives will be able to be blessed. As long as you have made a great impact with that book now. Because what you don't want to happen is that you're dead and gone, and then your book stops selling. Nobody even remembers who you are, and the message dies with you. The message in your book should outlive you. It's like it's leaving a legacy, literally. Literally. When I am gone 100 years from now, if there's a woman of God who wants to be married, she's going to be able to look up Sarita A. Foxworth. And I don't know you know how they call you the mother of... After you dead and gone, they're going to be able to look up Sarita A. Foxworth and look at all her books, and they're going to be able to read it and be blessed, because these books are going to outlast my lifetime. Okay. All right, y'all. I got to go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.